09 right.
Runway.
Contact tower on 118.500. Pushback approved at own discretion.
Roger.
Roger. Continue taxi to gate. Departure runway 09.
At parking.
Departure runway 09 right. Startup approved.
Startup approved. Call you back when ready to taxi.
Stand by. Stand by.
Request cross runway.
Request cross runway.
Proceed to gate 116.
Wilco.
Cross runway approved.
Holding point runway 09 right.
Stand by.
Request pushback.
Taxi to holding point runway 09 right. Roger. Continue taxi to gate.
Request pushback.
Roger. Continue taxi to gate.
Holding point runway 09.
Proceed to gate 119.
Request cross runway.
Pushback approved at own discretion. Pushback approved at own discretion.
Request pushback.
Contact tower on 118.500. Stand by. Pushback approved at own discretion. Roger. Continue taxi to gate.
At parking.
Startup approved. Report when ready to taxi. Departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to start. Departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to start. Roger. Close at 20.
Runway.
Continue.
Have a nice day.
Request start.
Contact tower on 118.50. Startup approved. Report when ready to taxi.
Request start up.
Approach.
Startup approved. Report when ready to taxi. Proceed to gate 122.
Wilco.
Roger. Cross runway approved.
Request taxi.
Request taxi.
Holding point runway.
Pushback approved at own discretion. Taxi to holding point.
Request taxi.
Taxi to holding point runway 09. Roger. Continue taxi to gate. Contact tower.
Bruh.
On 118. Departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to start. Roger. Close at 21.
Have a nice day.
Holding point runway 09 right. Roger.
Contact tower on 118. Stop. Startup approved. Report when ready to taxi. Taxi to holding point runway 09 right.
Request pushback.
Roger. Taxi to hold.
Pushback approved at own discretion.
Request pushback.
Pushback approved at own discretion.
Request cross runway. Roger.
Contact tower on.
Roger.
Why are we still
Contact
here?
tower on 118
Just to
decimal
suffer.
500. Request cross runway. Request cross runway.
Contact.
Request cross runway.
Contact tower on 118 decimal 500. Pushback approved at own discretion.
At parking. Information. Charlie. Read to copy. Request cross runway.
Contact tower on 118.
Request cross runway.
Contact tower on 118 decimal.
Request cross runway.
Request
Cross runway approved.
Roger. Cross runway.
Stand by. Make 180.
Wilco.
Stand by. Stop. Stop. Request startup.
Request pushback.
Pushback approved at own discretion. Request taxi.
At parking.
Contact tower on 118 decimal 500. Taxi to holding point runway 09 right. Stop. Departure runway 09 right. Contact tower on 118 decimal 500. Taxi to holding point runway 09 Roger. Continue taxi to gate.
Request pushback.
Taxi to holding point runway 09 right. Taxi to holding point runway 09 right. Pushback approved at own discretion.
Roger.
Taxi to holding point runway 09 right. Departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to start. Roger. Continue taxi to gate.
holding point runway 09 right.
Contact tower on 118 decimal 500.
Holding point runway 09 right.
Contact tower on 118 decimal 500.
Request startup.
Startup approved. Report.
Startup approved. Call you back when ready to taxi. Request taxi.
Stop. Taxi to holding point runway.
Roger. Taxi to holding point runway 09 right.
Stand by.
Request taxi.
Taxi to holding point runway 09.
Roger.
Stop.
Request
Stop. Stop.
Approaching gate, switching off.
Contact tower on 118 decimal 500. Roger. Continue taxi to gate.
Request cross runway.
Taxi to FBI, open up! Holding point runway 09 right.
Approaching gate, switching off.
Roger. Close at 27. Roger. Continue taxi to gate. Contact tower on 118 decimal 50. Cross runway approved.
Roger. Cross runway approved.
Roger. Continue taxi to gate.
Runway vacated. Request taxi to gate.
At parking. Information. Charlie. Read to copy. Roger. Continue taxi to gate. Departure runway 09 right. Roger. Continue taxi to gate. Departure runway 09 right. When ready to contact tower on 118.500.
Approaching gate, switching off.
Roger. Close at 28.
Have a nice day.
Pushback approved at own discretion.
Roger.
Request startup. Startup approved. Report when ready to taxi. Startup approved. Call you back when ready to taxi.
At parking. Information. Charlie. Read to copy.
Departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to start.
Departure runway.
Departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to Roger. Continue taxi to gate. Proceed to gate 133.
Wilco.
Approaching gate, switching off.
Roger. Close at to continue.
Request startup.
Contact tower on 118. Startup approved. Report when ready to taxi. Continue. Stop. Stop.
Approaching
Departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to start. Startup approved. Report when ready to taxi. Roger. Close at 30. Startup approved. Report when ready to taxi.
Approaching gate, switching off.
Departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to start. Roger. Close at 3. Departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to start. Pushback approved at own discretion.
Roger.
Taxi to holding point runway 09 right.
Roger. Taxi.
Stop. Make 180.
Have a nice day. Runway vacate.
Pushback approved at own discretion. Startup approved. Report when ready to departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to start. Roger. Continue taxi to gate. Taxi to holding point runway 09 right. Turn right next taxiway. Request pushback. Startup approved. Report when ready to taxi. Pushback approved at own discretion. Roger. Stand by. Stop. Pushback approved at own discretion. Request startup.
Roger.
Startup approved. Report when ready. Startup approved. Call you back when ready to taxi. Request taxi. Taxi to holding point runway 09 right. Pushback approved at own discretion.
Request taxi.
Taxi to holding point runway 09 right. Taxi to holding point runway 09 right.
At parking. Information.
Continue. Departure runway 09 right. Contact when ready to start. Continue.
Approaching gate, switching off.
Request pushback.
Roger. Close at 3-2. Pushback approved at own discretion. Startup approved. Report when ready. Contact tower on 118.500. Startup approved.